another topic I want to talk about today, which was another question that I had this week, which was an interesting one. And this was about long tenancies, the termination of long-term tenancies. Now, the scenario that I was given was that somebody had been in a property since the late 70s. Okay, so we're looking at, over, a good 40 years that somebody's been in a property here. So, they they'd been on a continuation period since their initial lease. So they probably had 38 years of that in a continuation period. So it was about, now the property was for sale, and then we're on to is it 30 days notice? Is it 90 days notice? What is that issue? Now, Section 94 of the Residential Tenancies Act gives us some guidance around that. So, and it talks about how the tribunal, so this is NCAT, New South Wales Civil and Administrative Tribunal, makes the decision around these termination of long-term tenancies. It's not about giving X number of days, or, most people think in their heads, long-term tenancy, 90 days. And kind of that's what it comes out as mostly. But the tribunal, so you actually, as the agent, will need to make application for this on behalf of the property owner for it to actually make a termination order for the tenancy if the tenant's been in continual possession of the same residential premises for a period of 20 years or more, and if the tenant occupied the premises under a fixed term agreement and it's expired, and the tribunal is satisfied that it is appropriate to actually make the order in the circumstances. So there's a reason for it. So in the case that I was asked about, the property is actually selling. So there's a clear reason as to why they're seeking possession of those premises, because there's a new purchaser or a new owner to those premises. So the landlord can obviously make application without giving the tenant any termination notice. Obviously, the human side of this is you talk to your tenant. They've been there for a long time. They've made the previous owner or the current owner, they've been paying that property and paying their rent for 20 plus years. So the human side of it is talk to your tenant. However, the legislation states that you can make the application without giving the tenant the termination notice. The tribunal can't actually make a termination order that the termination date will fall within a fixed term. So it has to be outside of the fixed term, which is what we said before. And the tribunal, in determining that vacant possession being given, specifies a date that is, must not order vacant possession be given earlier than 90 days. So it could actually be longer than 90 days, but it certainly can't be less than 90 days. Obviously, if the tenant's going, yep, I'm out of here, there we go, it doesn't need to go down these paths. But here's what the Residential Tenancies Act is telling you what you need to do in those cases. It's not a regular issue that comes across your plate, but certainly when it does, you need to sit back, make sure you're following what the Residential Tenancies Act tells you to be doing, and making your application to tribunal. Obviously, with all of the tribunal hearings now being, by telephone, hopefully that's going to be a faster process, and particularly in the case of a sale or getting a property ready for sale, then usually the owner is looking at getting the premises back, getting them fixed up and ready for sale. So but the minimum time and the process is tribunal and 90 days.